Good morning, students. Now we are starting a new chapter, that is excretory products and their elimination. It means that in our diet we are taking proteins, etc. So we accumulate ammonia, uric acid, urea, carbon dioxide, water, and ions like sodium, potassium, chloride, phosphates, etc. So these are formed in our body with the help of metabolic activities or by means of excess ingestion. So these substances have to be removed from our body fully or partially. Otherwise, they have very toxic effects on our body. And just like if these substances are not removed from our body, the person can get paralysis, etc. So there we in this chapter we'll study about how the excretory products can be removed from our body. The whole chapter is based on this. And now because ammonia, urea, uric acid are the major forms of nitrogenous waste excreted by the animals, but ammonia is the most toxic form and requires large amount of water for its elimination. So whereas uric acid being less toxic can be removed with a minimum loss of water. So excretory products are basically ammonia, urea and uric acid. Now we'll study about types of excretion. So types of excretion are again three types. Some animals are monotelic, just like bony fishes, aquatic amphibians, aquatic insects. So these eliminate ammonia from their body. Ammonia is readily soluble and is generally excreted by diffusion across the body surface or through gill surface in fishes, etc., as in ammonium ions. Kidneys don't play any role in this removal. Ammonia, because easily these animals are living in water and it's very toxic substance, so removed when they want to remove from their body. And next is ureotelic. So ureotelic, the examples are mammals, many terrestrial amphibians, marine fishes mainly excrete urea and are called ureotelic animals. So terrestrial adaptation necessitates the production of lesser toxic nitrogenous waste like urea, uric acid also for conservation of water. Now next type is uricotelic. Uricotelic organisms are which excrete their nitrogenous waste with minimum loss of water. They are called uricotelic. For examples are reptiles, birds, land snails, and insects. They conserve all the water and they eliminate these uric acid in the form of pellets or paste with a minimum loss of water. Now we'll study about next what animals. We'll do survey on animals kingdom and we'll study about more excretory structures which are present in them. So in this slide, we'll study about excretory structures which are present for the removal of excretory substances and nitrogenous waste and maintain osmoregulation in the bodies of invertebrates and vertebrates. First of all, I'm starting with invertebrates. So protonephridia. Protonephridia or flame cells are the excretory structures in platyhelminthes, flatworms, planaria, rotifers, etc. And some annelids and cephalochordates, amphioxus, etc. And protonephridia are mainly concerned with the ionic and fluid balance regulation, means osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means when the salts and water is maintained in our body. The next one is nephridia. Nephridia are tubular excretory structures of earthworms, annelids and other annelids. Nephridia help to remove again nitrogenous waste and maintain a fluid and ionic balance in their bodies. Next one is Malpighian tubule. Malpighian tubules are excretory structures present in most of the insects, just like in cockroach. We'll study about the cockroach and we'll study about Malpighian tubules there. So Malpighian tubules help in the removal of nitrogenous waste and maintain osmoregulation. So antennal glands or green glands are also called. These are present in the crustaceans like prawns. Crustaceans are the animals which are arthropods living in water. And next kidneys. So kidneys are present in vertebrates. So complex tubular organs, kidneys are there for removal of excretory substances. We'll learn about kidneys in detail in the next slide. This slide is showing the diagram of human excretory system, which includes a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureter, and a urinary bladder and a urethra. So kidneys are reddish brown, bean-shaped structures situated between the levels of last thoracic and third lumbar vertebra, close to the dorsal inner wall of the abdominal cavity. Now we'll ask what is thoracic and third lumbar vertebra. So in our body, in our spinal cord, 26 vertebrae are present and 12 thoracic are present, and then next to that lumbar and then sacral. We'll study all these vertebrae in next chapter. So these are situated um, last thoracic and third lumbar vertebra, because 12 thoracic present है, 5 lumbar present है, तो ये उनके उसमें present है और each उसके पास में present है. Each kidney of adult woman measures 10 to 12 centimeters in length, 5 to 7 centimeter in width and 2 to 3 centimeter in thickness, with an average weight of 120 to 170 grams. Towards the center of inner concave surface of kidney is a notch called hilum, through which ureter, blood vessels and nerves enter. So you are watching renal artery and renal veins are entering and leaving it, and above the kidney there is present a gland that is called adrenal gland. That is a hormonal gland, hormone secreting gland. We have studied about it in 10th standard. Do you remember? Adrenal gland is called the emergency gland. So we'll study about this in the last chapter, 22nd chapter, with all these. So next detailed study of kidney, part of kidney, we'll do in next slide. So you must notice the right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney, and left kidney is a little nearer to the middle plane than the right. So this kidney is called metanephric. So we'll study with the sectional view of kidney. The kidney is covered by a layer of fibrous connective tissue which is called renal capsule, which protects it from infections and injuries, etc. Around the capsule there is a layer of fat that is called adipose capsule, and inside the kidney, inside the there is renal, it's inner to this renal capsule, there is an outer dark region called cortex and inner lighter region called medulla. It's a striated appearance. Medulla is there. Medulla is divided into a number of conical areas called medullary pyramids. You are watching in the diagram, having their broad base towards the cortex, and each renal medullary pyramid terminates into a structure, the renal papilla. So you are watching that between the medullary pyramids, the substance of the cortex extends into the medulla and forms columns of Bertini. These are called renal columns of Bertini. So in the renal pelvis, this leads into renal. These are going into renal pelvis, and renal pelvis is going into the leads to ureter. A kidney has about 10 lakh structure and functional units called nephrons, and which are also called uriniferous tubules. So structure of nephrons we'll study in the next slide, next lecture.